exciting thing to say. And we're just happy because we're able to be on an incredible webinar today that really kind of changed the way that George and I have been thinking about how to finish our 90-day game plan strong. And as you guys know, you can see right up here on the main screen that we've started September 8th and it goes to December 7th. So we really need to make sure that we unite as a team over these next, 30 to 50 days right before Christmas so that we make sure we all rank advance. So right now the goal, right, is to rank advance. I mean, the goal is to, if you're not consultant yet, if you're brand new, that you enroll your first 2 people, you become consultant. The next goal, of course, is manager, director, and executive, and all of that's really achievable. But we've been hearing some feedback lately that people are concerned about their recruiting skills. They're not sure that if they're doing it right. Sometimes, we're a little bit worried. And so we really jumped on this webinar with Worre today because he said that it was the biggest recruiting breakthrough in 10 years. And that says something, when a very prominent leader in our industry comes out and says that he's going to, share with us the biggest recruiting breakthrough in 10 years, we pulled out a notepad and we pulled out our pens and we dug in and we put our learning caps on, ready to learn what was new and exciting about recruiting. And I gotta tell you, I think you're gonna love it. So if you guys wanna pull out a pen and a piece of paper and plan on watching this again and learning from your notes, that's what I would highly recommend. And George and I did the same thing, and I'm gonna show you how we put that in practice today as well. So let's talk about these revolutionary recruiting skills. There we go. So, when we said that, I really want you to think, what does that mean to you, right? Do you want to finish this 90 days on fire, or do you want to feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again? We don't want you to feel like that. We want you to get excited about what we have to offer. And if you're brand new, like I said, Isogenics, and not sure how to get started, or you're scared to really call your list, like you've gone to the isogenicsbusiness.com and you saw the Start Here section and you wrote a list out, and then you freaked out like when you were looking at your list going, how am I going to call these people, and what if they say no to me, and oh my gosh, and that's normal. And sometimes you've been in for a while and you feel that same way. And the other thing is we want to improve your call's effectiveness. We really want to improve your call's effectiveness by you looking and being prepared. And, we don't want you to feel like you're missing some top secret ninja skill to recruit anymore. We want people to know that the way that Worre has taught us is, it works. So look no further. We have the plan to help you launch your success in the next 30 to 50 days. And it is going to take that long. It is going to take that long for you to be able to really implement this. It'll be short, it'll be simple, it'll be easy, and it will be fast. And it duplicates with your new person super easily, and it creates action and it gets results. And so that's, what revolutionary recruiting by definition should be, all of those things. Simple, easy, fast, duplicates with your new people, creates action, and gets results. So the best technique to increase your contacting, right? Because it's faster than Facebook, it's faster than emailing, and it's faster than a phone call. I wonder if some of you guys can guess what I'm talking about. What would this revolutionary recruiting tool be? So, Revolutionary Recruiting 101, this is not new. Worre demonstrated this in Celebration at the leadership event. And somehow, most of us missed it. And now we're coming back to it as a team, and we're uniting, we're locking arms. And, I guess if you watched Worre's webcast this morning, you already know what it is. But he called it literally the biggest recruiting breakthrough in 10 years. So what is it? Send a what? That's right. It's that simple. Send a text message. This is so cool because it's so simple. I think a lot of us are like, I don't know. Can I just send a text? Yes. In this day and age, you can send a text message to set an appointment. And so most people respond to text faster than anything else. Think about it. Every single one of you, all of you, like however many of you are on this call, a lot of you on here. This is exciting. Most of us respond to text faster than anything else. And tonight you'll see how to use text to explode your business. So this is what you're going to learn tonight. How to set appointments fast, one-on-ones or even long distance, which is a big deal. How your new associates can start fast. and how to rekindle your associate's fire. So, step one, pull your notepads out right now, okay, guys? Step one, on your cell phone, select somebody. I suggest you start with the A list, okay? A, B, C. They're all in order, all right? If you have any kind of a smartphone, all your contacts are in order. So start with the A names. And on your cell phone, I want you to select somebody who you would like to connect with. Step two, write something. Hey, name, I have to talk to you. When would be a good time to sit down and have a cup of coffee? You know, or write down when would be a good time for us to meet up for lunch or breakfast or dinner. Or, you know, hey, when can I get 15 minutes of your time this week? I've got to talk to you about something. Or, you know, so many ways you can put that. Step three, send the text. And then just send the text, okay? And it's simple. I mean, we're seriously talking about that was the revolutionary recruiting skill. Hey, you, when do you want to get together, right? And if it's somebody you haven't seen for a while, that's okay. Just, you know, we're going to talk about that. So simple. So how many people do you have in your phone? This is interesting. Because one time I was working with a business partner of mine in another state, and somehow when I had gone out to do a presentation for our iPhone synced contacts, he added somewhere over 1,200 contacts to my iPhone that I had to get rid of. He had 1,200 contacts in his cell phone. How many people are in your cell phone right now? How many people are in your prospect cell phone or your brand new person that got started? How many people are in their phone? We've got to find this out, and we got to try it with them. So, you know, what if people have some questions or objections? It's very simple. They're going to, okay? And, you know, they're going to ask what it is. This is the person. P equals person, okay? What is it? You. That's why I want to meet with you. It's very visual. I can't explain this on the phone. Can you tell me now? All I can tell you is that I am involved in a project and I want you to partner with me. What if we meet at and throw at a time? Go to set the appointment. Okay. So the point is, you guys, is to go in and set the appointment. That's the whole point of this sending a text message, is not to talk all about isogenics, not to get all up and, you know, up in their face about the Ionic Supreme and the Ayurvedic whatever. We're not talking about the products or the business at this point. We are just setting an appointment. The text message is to set an appointment. Okay. So if your prospect insists, I'll tell you what, let me make an exception because I think you'll appreciate this project. What is your best email address? If I send you a 10-minute link to a video, would you watch it? Now we're going into the Eric Worre script, which we're more familiar with. And if you're not, you need to watch this webinar a long time after a while. What?
Never expected. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, George just said the whole point of this is that it's through text message. I mean, how many people can you have that conversation with? A lot. Okay. You know, when would you be able to watch it? That means that if I call you at and put the time in, you would have watched the video, correct? What is the best time to call you? Cool. We will talk at that time. So we're just setting the appointment. I'm going to leave this slide up for a minute in case you're trying to write this down. But, you know, your whole purpose is to set the appointment, like we talked about. Think about how many people you could do this with, even if you set a timer for a half hour. How many people can you text out to set an appointment to talk to, have a cup of coffee, go to breakfast, go to dinner, or talk to over the phone? You got 15 minutes this week. I'd love to talk to you sometime and reconnect with you, right? All right, long distance. Here we go. Hey, Adam, I need your opinion. I got involved in a unique project, and I need your opinion on anything, okay? If I send you a link to a 10-minute video, would you watch it? All right? Would you watch it? We're going back to the Eric Worre script. Okay, but on this one, I would say I need to get your opinion. And get rid of the on. I don't know why that's there, but I'd love to get your opinion. Or you could put, I'd love to get your opinion on what I'm doing now or what I'm excited about. Okay, let me fill that blank in for you. Okay, it's supposed to say something like that. Here's again, when would you watch it? That means that if I call you on Thursday at 4 p.m., you would have watched the video, correct? What is the best time to call you back? Cool, we will talk at 4:30 Thursday. We're just setting appointments, you guys, but we're starting people faster this way. Why? If I'm sitting down one-on-one with my brand new person, you know, one of the toughest parts of this business is to start your new people connecting with people. I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about because I'm seeing who's on this webinar right now. Using texting and Facebook make it way easier, you guys. Make it way easier. Can literally help them text 10 people right when you meet up with them. Do a new associate interview. Text 10 people out from their list. Text people, okay? However, the advantage of texting is that most people respond faster to text than instant message in most cases. Wouldn't you agree? And so what you want to do is when you get that text out, your phone's going to be like off the hook, a ding, 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 ding. So make sure, within that half hour you text those 10 people that you're prepared to really set the appointment, really dig in and set the appointment or answer any objections that may come up. So, this is supposed to say imagine. Imagine that each person that you sponsor connects with 10 people right away. Here comes the numbers. What if they connected with 100 people their first month? Think about it, you guys. 100 people their first month. What if you had 10 people in your organization connecting with 100 people that first month? What do you think would happen to your business? See, this is where some of you guys, your little minds are popping because you're thinking about the numbers. I know it. So this is what you do. Step 1, ask your new associate to open their cell phone. Step 2, choose 10 people to connect with immediately. Step 3, write a text message. Hey, Steve, I have to talk to you. When would be a good time to sit down and have a cup of coffee? Or when would be a good time to meet up this week? Or would you be available for a 15-minute phone call? Or, fill in the blank. Okay? Step 4, send a text. Step 5, choose 90 more people and repeat the process. This is a 100 text challenge that we're going to be starting in our group for the next 30 to 50 days. We want you to send out 100 text messages, okay? Because we know, right, what would happen if every person, including you, does this on a consistent basis. And it's very simple to do. We know you guys can do this. So let's talk about these numbers. What if you connect with these 100 people in a month? Eric Worre says that the average response is between 30 to 50%. And we will assume the average of that, 40%, right? So you would have 40 responses, all right? And Eric Worre says that you can sponsor 10% of your 100, but I will make it even lower. You sponsor between 10 to 20% of your 40, so about 4 to 8 people. In your second month, they connect with 100 each in a month, right? So I would even go back to say, I don't know if I can go back right now, but I would say out of those, I would say it's really broken down differently. I would say that you'd have 40 people who want to connect with you. Out of those 40, I would say that you're going to get 12 distributors who want to purchase the product. Out of the 12, I would say you're going to have, 4 people who actually want to do the business. You're going to take those 4. You're going to have them connect with their 100 through text message. That's where you're going to get this 400 per month. So they sponsor 40 people, all right? And your third month, those 40 people connect with 100 people or 4,000 people in that month via text message. And we sponsor a total of 400 new people in our group. So can you see the potential, you guys? What if instead of 10%, we got better at it? What if we got better at it as a team and that improved to 20%? I think the biggest thing is getting people to take some action, right? Is to rekindle the fire inside our old associates. Even I don't care if you go through your whole back office of people who aren't active anymore. Send out a text message. Can I have 15 minutes of your time? So a very successful platinum in Isogenics has been using this technique since celebration. And she has advanced several ranks since then. She is basically re-prospecting her own associates. This is a very powerful technique, you guys. And, again, step 1, choose one of your associates. Step 2, I have to talk to you. When would be a good time? Step 3, call them or wait for their call. All right, these are for people you already know. Step 4, tell them you have new developments on how to do or be successful in this business you want to share with them. Step 5, talk about the new tools and bonuses if they do not know them, and show them the texting strategies. Show them how easy it is to fit this business into the pockets of their life by text messaging, and then choose 10 people. Help them choose 10 people and send the text messages to them. Set appointments with the 10 people to talk to them. This is where we're going to go into the action, what you already would have, but you want to send the text tomorrow to 10 prospects or tonight. For a lot of you guys, if you're Pacific time right now, send 10 text messages tonight out to people. I have to tell you, last night, weird thing, I know I'm pausing this to tell you a personal story, but, last night there's this guy I was so excited about. I had known him growing up, and he's really successful now. He does mortgages and a whole bunch of others, property management, a whole bunch of crazy stuff out in Las Vegas. And he was going to enroll with the President's Pack, and then at the last minute was like, I'm just not sure this is for me right now, and kind of backed off. And I was like, oh, boo, we would have been such great partners, right? Well, it was weird because last night at 4 in the morning, he finally, after I had sent him a text message probably 2 weeks ago, sent me a text message at 4 a.m. My phone dings twice, and I'm like, what is going on, And I wake up, and I grab the phone, and it's my friend Steve. And he's like, hey, weird thing. I know it's really, early your time, but I had to text you. He's like, I've been looking at the text that you sent me for 2 weeks, and I just, I'm going to try to call you today. He's like, I'm going to try to call you at some point during the day. So, long story short, it works out. Send the text. Not everyone responds right away. There's a timing to this business. I know you know that, but and once you're done with those 10, you guys, you can just keep going. You really could prospect probably 100 people out of your phone in, I would say, 72 hours. But, send at least 15 more this week. Send 25 text messages this week to try to reconnect and reset those appointments. Send a minimum of 100 this month, or if you're feel aggressive, like we said, this week, okay? And start your new associates the same way. Just get them connecting with people, you guys. Get them sharing the story. Send a text to your organization and tell them the good news that we have this, okay? And these 5 things are so simple to do. So that's the game plan, these 5 things. This is what we're doing this week as a team. We're going to be sending the text out tomorrow to 10 prospects, okay? We're going to send at least 15 more this week. We're going to send a minimum of 100 this month. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through our 100 text messages because we know the power of that, power of enrolling 12 people and having 4 business builders to teach them how to do this with. That's what this is here, okay? And we're going to start them out the same way. Imagine what would happen if you sponsor at least 4 people. If not all 12 enroll, but you at least sponsor 4 new people this month, what would happen to your business? What if 5 people in your team do the same? What if you have somebody you already previously enrolled that hasn't really seen the vision until you meet and reconnect with them? You've already got 4 ready to go. There's 5 people who are ready to send out 100 text messages. What if 10 people in your team do it? And the best way to make sure that this happens is you also have to do it. So my brother-in-law, Jonathan, today, he, as you guys know, he's doing the business full-time right now. He's super pumped up about it. And he did this. He ended up sending, I think it was, what, George, 30?
No, 22.
22 text messages today.
9.
22 text messages today. 9 people messaged back, or even some of them called him back right away. And all 9 of them are reviewing presentations, and he has them put on his schedule to follow up. You can do this. It's that simple. And he said, the best part about doing this was that it was easier to send a text. And he got, more of an immediate response. So Eric Worre's presentation tomorrow, we will be posting the Eric Worre's video, and he explains the mechanisms of this and why it works again, and I would highly suggest you watch that. And we're going to learn some more ways on how to apply it. And there are 2 secrets really to make this work, you guys. Action, belief, equals results, okay? I would say belief, action, equals results. And, that's what we wanted to share with you tonight. There's one thing I want to tell you why this is important. There's one thing I really want to tell you about why it's so important that we set appointments. because I think a lot of people have a misconception that we don't have a boss, and everyone throws that out there like, we don't have a boss in this industry. Ooh, look at us, we're so lucky we don't have a boss. But that's a lie. That's not true. We have a boss in this industry. It's your calendar, okay? If your calendar has no appointments on it, you're fired. What you want to do is you want to set appointments so that you guys can really expand and explode your business. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to get in business and make your calendar, your boss happy, right? To set appointments, to send out text messages and be able to do that. And, that's really what we're super excited about, wanted to share with you. That's how we're going to roll out the last part of our 90-day right before New Year kickoff, and get all of you guys to rank advance, from consultant to manager to director. Some of you guys might just be missing a few people to director, and you got to get that $750 bonus. You got to keep going if you've done the crystal reset. So, that's what we're excited about. And I know George would like to say a few words, so just 1 second, George. Hold on.
Wow, as you see, this is amazing. And Adrianne was so excited that she said, I have to tell people about this. I said, well, and especially because Jonathan, her brother-in-law, around noontime, he said, you know what, this was after the seminar I ain't going to do that. And then he started looking for a list of names, and he sent 22 people. And it's interesting because I was with him, and we were here in the house. And some people, I think 3 or 4 of them, called him back before he actually called them. That was amazing. I said, well, what is going on? What can you tell me? Or tell me a little more about this. And that's, he sent 9 people to presentations. Obviously, we will know soon what's happening, but he committed himself to do every day around 30, because those 30 were, I would say, about, with the people talking on the phone and everything, was probably a little more than 2 hours in a day. That you see, it's not a lot of people actually, a lot of time. And imagine if you can do that every day. Imagine the results. And I feel that if he keeps doing this, we are going to see amazing results in the next 30 days for him. And again, and just to say something, and make sure if you are not a director, we have until December 7th to reach the position of director for those that have never been director, and then you can have the crystal. That means you're going to get $750. Alex, I wonder if anybody has a question.
Hey, George. Yeah, actually, no questions yet. But I do want to quickly point something out, that for those that are interested in seeing the Eric Worre webinar, we have it at the howtogetgoing.com page.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
So,
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so here we go with a question. If people don't respond to your text, do you send them a follow-up one, or you just wait to hear from them?
Well, most people are going to be responding to the text. That's a fact. The reason if you are doing enough calls, you just don't stop. You keep on sending new text to new people. Just ignore it for now, and then later you can send another text to the same person.
Yeah, I think, one thing I want to point out too, in fact, Jonathan just sent me a text message because he's listening, and he said, tell people that they're going to get better at the text messages. The more they do them, you're going to get better, and you're also going to get better too because the response rate is so high. You're going to get better at setting the appointment, and if they call you right away, you get better on the phone because you've made so many calls in this amount of time. So really schedule that. But he said, all of a sudden, because he had sent the text, it made it okay to call them. He's like, know that the text message is what opens the door and makes it okay for you to call them. So maybe they don't respond back, and maybe you do call them the following week, or you send another text and say, hey, I saw you never responded back to my text. Is everything okay? So what's the next question?
Okay, actually, the question is about what was the page that I just posted the webinar, and apparently it broke off. So it's howtogetgoing.com. I'm just pushing that to your chat box. So it's howtogetgoing.com. And actually, it just says webinar and something about text messages with Eric Worre.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And we're for those of you who I can see, on the in the chat box. We're gonna have this posted all over Facebook. We'll have it on the BDP social media. We'll have it in the individual groups. We'll have that available to you guys.
Okay, and guys, for those of you that are new, don't forget you can post your questions at the GoToWebinar control panel at the top right of your screen, and just enter it into the questions chat box and we'll get to them. Here we have Michael, and he wants to, let's see, when or where can we see this presentation again? I lost you for 10 minutes. Again, you know, it will be at the howtogetgoing.com tomorrow. And also, we will have the Eric Worre Game Changer, the text messages webinar at all of the social media from the BDP group. And Adrianne, maybe you just want to remind people which of these groups they are, in case some of them are not following us on
So you'll want to
Facebook.
you'll want to do a search in the search tab up at the top of Facebook for B as in boy, D as in dog, P as in Paul. What you want to do, BDP social media, and request to be added, and we'll
90-day blitz also. They have the same information.
Okay.
If you are already in the 90-day blitz, you don't have to go into the BDP social media.
So we have two platforms. What George is trying to tell you is we've got the BDP social media and the 90-day blitz, and you guys can be requested to be added into those, and the information will be in all of the groups shortly. Yeah. So I also have a text message here, a question, and it says, what if they say, is this for your business? Well, we did cover that in here, but I just want you to know, back off. You know, the point of sending these text messages out is to connect with people, rekindle the fire, and you know, really, all in all, you know, catch up and communicate. So if somebody says, you know, are you just trying to enroll me into your business, or are you just trying to do anything like that? Just pull back and say, you know, no, I just want to catch up. I'd like to just, you know, call and chat with you, and if that comes up, great. But if it doesn't, I'd love to just catch up with you. So just pull back and do the right thing there, which is develop the relationship, okay? And then from there, of course, it's going to happen. They're going to want to know what you're up to. They're not just going to talk about themselves the whole time. They're going to say, well, you know, what are you up to, and you know, that kind of a thing. So the point of this is to have conversations, to set appointments, to have conversations, to maybe rekindle, you know, relationships and friendships, you know, with people you haven't talked to in a long time, and have the opportunity to share what you're doing now as well.
Yeah, we have
something that I saw Jonathan really good today. When somebody said, well, what are you trying to sell me? He said, well, you know, I'm just trying to reconnect. I had not talked to you in 4 years. And then when they start talking, and he said, and the guy obviously, well, what is the thing that you were actually wanted to promote? And then they start talking about the business, and the guy went to see, is looking at the video right now. In other words, you can, as Adrianne said, just back up and let's start talking like he was saying. Let's reconnect. Okay, somebody else has a question.
Yeah, George. Lucy actually asked something related to that. She says, when George's friend got immediate callbacks from his initial texts, did he talk about isogenics and explain everything, or did he just set an appointment or send a tool?
I'll let George, well, okay, no, we didn't talk about everything. We sent them to a video. And I think Jonathan, even at one point, he just got so good. Like, I remember him saying on the phone, he's like, why can't you just explain it to me right now? And Jonathan said, look, it's like, you know, it's like buying a car before you test drive it. I put a lot of time and money into these videos you're going to watch. You need to go watch the video, and then, you know, that will explain it better than I will, and it will take less time. So, you know, go watch the video, and, you know, we'll talk about it more on Thursday. What else is new? And he kind of would switch subjects, you know, if they wanted to keep talking about it, you know, or he would say, you know what, you know, so make sure you check that link out that I sent to you. Let's follow up Thursday, and, you know, I got to run, but I'm so glad we got to chat for a little bit. You know, thanks, bye. I mean, so he really got really good at that. You want to add something, George?
Yeah, I was going to say that, and the videos that he used, most of them were retired early, but he used a couple, probably 3 of them, used enterprising women. But that's what he was saying. If they wanted to know more, you send the person to a tool. You cannot explain everything on the phone. You can try to explain something, and then it's not duplicatable anymore. You have to make sure you use the tools. Like again, Lynn Hagedorn said, and everybody heard that before. Don't be fooled. Use a tool. Or use the tools.
Okay, great.
Question?
Yeah, George, I have another question here, and it's got to do with, well, let me read it to you. It's, all my contacts are cold market, Facebook and LinkedIn.
Good.
Now, this script feels awkward for people I've never talked to. Is there an alternate script?
No, there's not, because it works. A lot of the people Jonathan were talking to were cold market as well. So, I mean, he was doing both warm and cold. So it works the same. It works one and the same. In fact, even better sometimes with some of the people who are cold market, they had less questions, you know. And here, I'm going to have George explain more.
Yeah, well, one of the things is that in order to connect with that person, you have to know what is their motivation. In other words, you have to have had a conversation before. In this case, the person is looking at business, or you know the motivation. You say, hey, we talked before, we connect before. I need to talk to you. I want to talk to you about a project that I'm working in. It would be okay. And that's it. And then the person say no. I said no. If the person say, what is it? He say, well, it's okay. If I send you a video, a 10-minute video, will you watch it? A link to a video. Yeah. Will you watch it? That means if I call you at a certain time, you already have watched the video. Okay, let me call you at this time. In other words, you follow the script. But it's good that you already know the motivation, because if you are just doing it cold and you never have text the person, or you don't know if the person is looking for a business, or you don't know anything about the person, sometimes probably it can become awkward. By the way, LinkedIn is really good. Now make sure, because in LinkedIn, what you are going to do, you are going to be sending emails back and forth. Doesn't have the chat system that Facebook has. It's not as nice as Facebook. Try to get people to Facebook, because about 80% of the people that are in LinkedIn, they also have a Facebook or a Google Plus page. And Google Plus, you can do the same thing that Facebook. But anyway, make sure that you are not coming out of the blue and you never had any relation with a person, or you don't even know what the person is looking for. Because if you know a person is looking for a business, yeah, you can go straight.
Great. Yeah. No more questions for the time being. So, George, and we're also past our time.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, well, what I'm going to add is that this is so simple, guys. You just put a text, and you don't have even to afraid how you're going to say, what you're going to say. Just write what you're supposed to say and just put it on a text message. It's so simple. And also save you time, because if you are on the telephone sometimes, if they try to ask you stuff before you actually go through the whole conversation, well, you can spend hours. And if you are on the phone, and you are going to be on the phone, because some people are going to call you, like happened to Jonathan, and then you just make sure you keep your posture and send the person to the tool. Send the person to the tool. Don't be tempted or forced to talk, because you don't want the person to take control of the conversation. One of the calls that Jonathan was talking to, this guy from here, from Texas, the guy sounds California. He was from California. Really strong, trying to get it from him what it was, and he basically is when he gave that example of the car, and he said, and the guy said, "Oh, that makes sense. Okay, send me the link and call me tomorrow morning." That's it. That was it. But anyway, Adrianne, do you want to add anything?
No, I mean, I think this is the perfect time for this system to be rolled out for our organization and for what Isagenix is doing right now with the 90-day. I think that, I know and I really believe, after, having done it today with Jonathan and, watched the Eric Worre a couple times while creating this presentation, that this is the best way to finish out our 90-day program. It just absolutely is the best. It takes the pressure out. It takes the fear out of calling immediately, and it puts you right into the mode you need to be in, which is setting appointments with people who really do want to hear more about what we have to offer, and or just really reconnect. So that's the best part about this. I'm really happy and excited that we were able to present this today at such a perfect time.
And actually, I just want to add something that, I wish we have had this when we got started, because I can assure you that we would have connected probably with 10 or 20 times more people initially than what we did at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that here, different from when you try to call people, you make 20 calls, so you find only 7 people, but you have to go through all the time from trying to find those. Here, you are sending the same 20 messages. You probably are going to connect with the same 7 people that you were going to connect when you were calling the people that were different. You save so much downtime because then you talk to the people that are connecting with you first. And that's the cool thing. You save so much time because, and Alex, you remember when we started, we were making so many calls. Sometimes I made 30 calls, 40 calls, and I was finding only 1 or 2 people. I wish we were using the text.
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
the way.
And I can remember, and we would, and this text messaging with the technology there is right now, so many people with Android phones, so many people with iPhones, so many people with Windows phones. You can actually, if they want to, you can actually even send them after you start with the initial script. You can send the link to your video, and they can watch the video right on their phone. I mean, it will be an immediate thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's amazing. Okay.